Okay. So this is the coffee hour event, and it's called Staying True to Yourself in Relationships. I am Dr. Barbara Ciccarelli. Here comes Claire, just when I started. Wonderful. Oh, and should I call you Joshi? Claire?
Hello.
Hey, you came. Wonderful. I just started. Do you want to turn your camera off?
Oh, no, 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 it's okay. It's
Okay.
okay.
Okay. We have someone else with us. It's I'm not sure if I should go by Joshi. Is that what I should call you?
Yeah, you can call me anything. Abhinandan is my name, first name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get started then, if you're okay with that, everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
The title, as you know, of the event is Staying True to Yourself in Relationships, um, and without conflict or collapse. And I want to read to you the meetup description I had, so we're all on the same page. Um, have you ever wanted to speak up in a relationship, but held back because you didn't want to cause tension, conflict, or everything to fall apart? The coffee hour is a relaxed, guided conversation about what it means to stay true to yourself while staying connected. So you don't lose yourself when you're trying to relate to other people, whether it's in love, work, family, friendships, or life abroad. Many people pause, soften their words, or over explain, not because they lack confidence, but because they sense that honesty feels risky. And the risk here is that you're going to lose the connection. That's what the problem is. Um, and the reason of confidence, or the point that you're lacking confidence as the problem, is a very common explanation for this, but I don't think it's confidence at all. So we'll talk about that. In this session, we'll gently explore why speaking honestly can feel unsafe, even with quote unquote good people, how power and roles can quietly shape what we say and don't say, how pausing can be a sign of self respect, not weakness. And there's a huge discussion about vulnerability. Some people think it's weak, but I don't think it's weak at all. And that's what this partly is about. What helps relationships feel safe enough for honesty? And I focused on that a minute ago. So this is not therapy, this is coaching. There's a big difference. And if you have questions about that, feel free to ask. This is not advice giving. So this is not consulting. Coaching is something different. So if you have questions about that, please ask. You're welcome to listen, reflect, and of course, I would love it if you shared, if you feel comfortable. This coffee hour is for you. If you feel yourself adapting more to other people than expressing yourself. If you hesitate before speaking in certain relationships. If you want more balance and honesty without blame or fighting. You're single, partnered, a professional, or an expat navigating change. So bring your coffee. I hope you have a beverage because we're going to talk for the next hour together. And I'm hoping we illuminate some things that you're interested in. And I hope you leave with clarity. And I certainly don't want you to leave with any pressure. So if you feel that, please speak up and we'll address it. Um, so let's go back. I'm going back to my notes, of course. Um, and so that is the meetup description. I just wanted to go over that so we're all on the same page. But what I normally do for a coffee hour and for a workshop is ask participants and also ask myself, um, if you could give me a word about your transition from before you entered the Zoom and now that you're in the Zoom, one word to describe yourself. And then we'll talk about it. And if you want to, I'll go first. Or if you're very open, you can go first. I'm open to anything. Does anyone want to go first, or do you guys want me to go first?
Maybe as an example.
Sure, sure, sure. Let me think. I didn't think ahead about this. I just wanted to be in the moment. So, I guess I would say I'm curious because, um, like most coaches, I'm in coaching training, and I've worked a lot on my message. And so I'm so excited to see what the reaction is the more I do marketing. So that's for me, the where I am right now is curious. Does anyone want to go next?
I'm also curious.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why or a little bit about it?
Yes, because, well, I'm curious because I'm used to being very honest and very, well, speaking directly, exactly what I mean. But I usually end up with a conflictive relationship with many people, including my family, because of that.
You know, I will say something. It's very common that someone who's determined to be themselves gets into conflict with other people. That's very common. I would say that also is something I experience. And a lot of people experience it because you don't want to give up yourself.
Yeah.
And people often want to, I don't want to say take yourself, but they want to project on you or they want you to be a certain way. There are tons of reasons we could go deep into that, but that sounds perfectly understandable, I think. And but why? Tell me again what the curious part was.
Um, I'm curious how to do this without ending up
Conflict.
with conflictive relationship with
Yeah,
other people,
yeah, yeah.
including my family.
I see what you mean. I think that's the golden question. Do you know what I mean? That's the golden
Yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it more. Let's move to Joshi, if I'm getting that name right.
Yeah, Joshi, yes.
Okay. And can you tell us, you've heard both of us, so you know what we're doing.
Yeah, you are speaking about the curiosity, right?
Well, we pick
Curiosity about
curiosity,
the
but
relationship.
you can pick something else.
Mm-hmm.
What is your
Curiosity
word?
is like knowing about anything, maybe technology, maybe like anything, whichever we want to pursue in our lives.
What's the word? What's the
Pursue?
word? Pardon?
Pursue? Is it the pursue you're asking about?
A word that describes you.
Describe me.
Yes, yes. Right
Regarding
now.
what?
Right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
I did not get you.
A word that we describe uh how we feel right now coming from the
Mm-hmm.
outside and joining the Zoom as a transition. And what
Mm-hmm.
describes your experience?
I feel that you are like completed your masters in like 92 or 93, and I wanted to meet you and speak to you. I'm
But,
curious more about
oh, you're
you, how
curious.
you are thinking. Yeah.
You're also curious.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to know. Okay, you came because you're curious.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Super. We'll talk more. Okay, so let's dive in. I have some questions and I hope we can discuss them. Let's see where I am. Here. Um, okay. What do you think? Let me just ask out of the blue. What do you think about the topic? And I'll read it again. Um, Staying true to yourself in relationships without conflict or collapse. And I've heard from her. What do you think, Joshi? What do you make of that title?
Again, I did not get it.
Do you need
Sorry.
do you need more time?
Uh,
Okay, we'll get into the topic. So I think we need to get into the topic before we can describe it. Um, was there a relationship in mind when you signed up? Because this is about relationships that you're trying to
yeah.
connect with. You're trying to connect with someone. So did you have someone in
Mm-hmm.
mind? You don't have to say who, but I'm just asking, did you have someone in mind? Because, for instance, earlier today, I got an email from somebody. He wanted my feedback about problems with his sister and his brother. So
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't come today, but that would have been the relationship that he wanted to stay true to himself without a conflict. Although he has conflict, and he asked me, how do I stay true to myself without being in conflict with my family? So for you, is it a work relationship you're here for, or friendship, or family, or
Family.
family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always a family.
And is it a big family?
No, yeah, it's like we are like five. I have two elder sisters, my
Five
mother
is
and
big.
father. Yeah, my
Five
father,
children?
mother, and two. No, no, not children. I did not get married. I have two elder sisters, my father and mother.
Okay, three children. Three children and
No,
parents.
I don't have any
No,
children.
I know, I know. No, but in your family, you, two sisters, and your parents.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, okay. And is it good? Are the relationships good?
yeah, our relationship is always good. We all stay together and always
But
be
they're
happy.
in India, right?
Yeah, now they are in India.
And how is it going, the long distance?
We always connect within in 24 hours in one
Oh,
time.
okay.
Mm,
Okay, let me see what I have next. Okay, then I have another question I'll ask Claire. Um, Claire, have you ever paused before speaking, not because you didn't know what to say, but because you weren't sure if it was safe to say it? That's a long sentence, so I'll say it again. Have you ever paused before speaking, not because you didn't know what to say, but because you weren't sure it was safe to say it? Does everyone
Well,
understand it?
yeah, I understand
Yeah,
that,
okay.
and I've already paused in order to try to say the things I wanted to say in a more diplomatic way.
But did you, question, when you say it in more diplomatic, did you edit yourself? Did you revise what you said to fit what they wanted?
Uh, Partly
Yeah, partly.
because otherwise I would have had a conflict.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I tried to find words that were not, well, not risky, or well, in order to avoid, I tried to find a diplomatic way of saying
Yeah.
things, let's say.
And can you imagine how it could be different so that you could be who you want to be? Can you imagine how it could be different? Like, um,
No, not really.
no.
No,
Okay, okay,
no, because if you say the things just as you mean them, the other persons might feel well, kind of offended, or
right.
so you need to find the right words to express your thoughts without anyone feeling judged or offended. So it's quite a challenge.
Yeah, I hear you. Um, Let me ask you another question. What do you usually do instead of saying it? Do you delay it or let it go? Or do you always say it anyways? Or do you delay it? That's one thing people often do. They will start a conversation and then they'll come back to it like in an email or something.
Well, I might delay it to think about it, to find the right words to say what I
Yeah,
mean
yeah, yeah,
without being offensive.
yeah. And the question is it about communication or is it about the relationship? That's a good question. Is it just about the way you put it, or is there something below that in terms of how you relate to each other? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think so because I think it's more about the relationship
Yeah,
because some people are quite touchy, quite feel easily offended, and other not at all. Some people you can say anything. My former boss, for example, one of my former bosses, you could say anything to him, he would never feel offended. But for example, in my family, there are people who are really, you've got to be really cautious when you say what you mean.
yeah. Okay. Um, I was going to say the next question goes along with what you just said, which is, do you notice this more in certain relationships than others?
In closer relationships,
I'm sorry?
in close relationships.
What does that mean?
I mean, my
Close. Oh, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
nuclear family also. It's mhm.
Yeah. The people who are close to you,
Yeah.
like family or
Mhm.
anyone else who's close. Okay, let's continue because maybe we can unwrap some of this. I don't want to jump ahead. Um, and does this happen to you, Joshi, as well, where you have to think about what you say to somebody or you lose a part of yourself in a way?
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. And what do you do?
It's fine for me.
Really?
Sometimes we need to lose something to make someone happy.
Okay.
Hmm. Is
That's
it?
no,
I'm not. I'm going with it or not.
say it again.
I am on par
You're on
with
par.
your thinking.
Yeah, no, it is the inclination to want to connect. And oftentimes we'll behave in a way so that we can connect, which is like Claire was talking about, delaying what we say, trying to put the right words. Um, but the question is, what is that doing to your personal growth when you do that? Can you really grow in that situation where you have to think constantly about what you're saying and you can't say what you want unless you wait till after the conversation's over and say it in an email or for instance? That's what we're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think by learning how to say things the right way, I think it's a sign of growth, or isn't it?
I think it goes hand in hand, communication and the relationship. Like the relationship can be about, for instance, power. Somebody is your parent has power over you because they're your parents, they have more authority. Or at work, your boss has authority over you. So that's a relation dynamic. And then I think it goes, but you can answer yourself if you feel it goes hand in hand with communication, which is slightly different. Do you see what I mean? They
More
go
or less.
together. They go together. They go together.
Mm.
And one thing I talk about in my message for my practice is when the message involves or the communication involves authority. That's something I focus on specifically. Whether it's parents or the manager or the mentor, and how that works. But let's continue. I don't want to go too far into that. Um, I want to point out that pausing, I talked about already. I talked about when you delay and write it in an email because you want to get it right, which makes perfect sense. Some people think delaying is weak. Did you ever feel that? Did someone ever comment on you talking later?
I don't think that delaying is weak. Sometimes,
No.
no.
No, it's not at all, I don't think.
Because sometimes you've got to wait until the person has calmed down because they're so in a state of well eruption, I would say. They're like volcano, so that you say no, let's wait. And no, it's not the right time to say this kind of things.
I think that's a great answer. I think that's really well put. That waiting for the right moment is not weakness at all. It's choosing the moment, which I think can be very important because that suggests you are trying to be aware of the situation and aware of your audience. So I think that's great. So let's keep going. In this situation that we're talking about, many people don't feel, this is a double negative. Many people don't feel unheard. Like many people feel heard, I should say, but they feel edited, EDIT, edited. And the question is, where do you notice yourself adapting more than expressing yourself? Because you said you talked a lot, Claire, about the behavior of the person you're talking to and how you have to put it right, put things right in the right way, put the your message in the right way. So would you say you're adapting in that way more than you're just expressing yourself or the other way around?
I'm not quite sure.
Do you feel you are being who they want you to be or being who you are more?
Well, I sometimes try to adapt and sometimes try to be myself. It depends
Yeah.
on the situation because I end up being myself anyway. In the long run, really, really. Sometimes I'm trying to adapt, and in the long run, I will end up being myself anyway, even if people don't like me as I am, because I cannot adapt the whole time. It's impossible.
Would you say, based on what you just commented, would you say adapting is not what they really want? Because it doesn't go that way. It doesn't get the result.
Yes, it doesn't get the results.
Yeah.
That's true enough. Yeah, yeah.
What do you think they want? Although
They,
we should focus more on you and me, but I'm just curious.
I think they would like me to adapt, of course,
Yeah.
because it's easier for them to manage someone. Well, to get to to communicate with someone who's adapting.
Yeah. But then that when it happens, that's not the answer.
I think it's not the right way of
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Because I think it's better to end a relationship than to betray oneself the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. If that's the if it's a
The
deal
price.
breaker, yeah, if that's the price, thank you. Yeah, if that's the price that you can't have the relationship unless you give yourself up, um, then you're faced with if you're going to stay in the relationship. But the question is, can anything be done? And that's why we're having this conversation. Is it a deal breaker? Do you know that expression, deal breaker?
I
Is it
think I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, is it a this or that? Either you do like an ultimatum. Is it an
Mhm.
ultimatum? Either you lose yourself or you can't have the connection, but then you don't have yourself.
It's
So
yeah.
then what? Then what kind of relationship is it? Well, let's continue. Um, Joshie, I want to bring you in here. What are you usually adapting to? Their mood, their authority, their expectations, or their reactions? Okay, that's a mouthful. Let's think about that. What are you usually adapting to? Their mood? Because you mentioned they get all worked up, and then you think it's better to talk later. Um, so you're adapting by doing that. What are you usually adapting to? Their mood. I mentioned the authority, that I do some stuff with authority. Their expectations, that's a big one. Trying to meet people's expectations or their reactions. So you have four major, one, two, three, four major things here in this sentence, um, which we could take one by one, which I think
Yeah.
we should. I think we should.
Okay. Actually, coming to the mood, depending upon the mood of the
Yeah.
authority or the mood of the manager, maybe
Yeah.
I uh, think what he wants at that moment, and is he thinking about the business problem, or he is like working thinking about like a casual thing with me. He want to go to some a play area for playing something on that in that
But
way. I just
do
think
you,
about
go ahead, go ahead.
I think about what he wants, and I adopt with the mood of him. And authority, actually, manager will have a huge authority over me, so he can take over my time in any way possible. All my time should be given to him when I work. So he has an authority to make or break me
But
in any way possible.
don't you think you have a right to protect yourself even in work?
Uh,
I mean,
yeah,
do you think
it's
you have to totally give yourself up just because someone's paying you?
uh,
Is that a
no.
cultural thing?
Mm, Actually, when they are paying us, it's like 70% or 80% we need to respect them, their words. Sometimes we need to like save ourselves from some unnecessary or unnecessary distractions caused by them. And coming to the expectations, we need to like meet their expectations in the work, meet their expectations if they want us to move along with their moods. And
And what about
when
the last one, reactions?
reactions,
Do you have to deal as a worker? Do you often have to deal with the reactions of your supervisor or a leader or supervisor? Do you have to deal with
actually we need to be like a leader always.
you as well have to be like a leader?
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
always we
that's
need to be
interesting.
like a,
Yeah, yeah, that's great. But
because
what is that like? What is that like? What is being like a leader?
like we need to uh, take all the group over. We need to take up all the authority, all the expectations, all the what we say
Like in te
work, which
like in teams or projects?
blame work, yeah, everything. Someone will blame the group. We need to take over the blame
That's very interesting.
or something
Because
like
that's very interesting that you mentioned that about leadership, because sometimes there's a failure of leadership if the leader doesn't take responsibility.
yeah.
I think that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Mm,
You know, it's really interesting that you see that as part of his leadership because that's not always the case in different companies, I think.
mm.
But I want to get back to what you said about you give yourself like you sell your soul. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
But is it really like that?
No, it's not maybe like that, but means sometimes we need to be like obey everyone,
Okay. Okay.
and we need to be ourselves working
Yeah.
continuously and pursuing our things in life.
And is it independent or is it more a dependent role that you're used to for work? Can you work independently or is it a more a dependent role?
It's always like a dependent
Dependent,
because
good.
many managers and many workers will be all around working with the same code, same things.
And are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, okay.
We need to be comfortable with that, and we need to adapt with the situations. If they write something, if they do something, you need to clarify it clarified.
And do you think you can get personal growth out of that situation? Do you see yourself growing in that situation? Or do you look for outside your job for that?
Always it's like a teamwork
Yeah.
with and we together grow always,
Okay, so
because
you,
all the
yeah, yeah,
all the technical leaders or managers will have a good exposure towards the work, and we always strive for great uh, deals.
so for instance, you can grow through collaborations in the teams.
Yes, of course.
For one thing. Okay, great. Let's go to
Mm,
the next question. Um, how do you know you're adapting? What signals show up in your body or thoughts? So you're adapting a lot from what you told me to the what works
yeah.
for the team, what works for the job. But do you sense that you're adapting, or is it just a matter of fact? Is it just normal, or do you feel like you're adapting, feel something about it?
It is always like adopting. I feel and I do. I do with like adopting the things. Sometimes we don't know where we need to be controlled and where we need to be like,
Yeah.
and someone will be there to like manage us how to make these people to control and how to manage these people, and where our sometimes we speak loud out, and we can't control ourselves. Someone will be there to control us, or they take over the things and help us with the situation.
So
Sometimes we help them, uh, and coming to the code, sometimes some people don't write like neat and clean code. We get like fed up and running the things. It doesn't run smoothly. When we write the code, it runs smoothly, or means the runtime will be less.
okay. Um,
But we need to be together always.
so is there a lot of, do you know the word in English, camaraderie? Camaraderie or spirit, community spirit? Is there a lot of community spirit or team spirit?
Yeah, team spirit is
Like
always there.
a feeling that everybody is working together.
Yeah, camaraderie, right?
Yeah, that's the word I used, camaraderie. But you have to look
Mm-hmm.
up how to spell it. It's a big word.
Okay,
It's a big
so
word.
okay, camaraderie,
Camaraderie.
embroidery, camaraderie. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's bring Claire into it. My statement is power doesn't have to be loud to be real. It can be subtle. Do you know that word? Subtle? Subtle.
So I know this word. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Subtil. Yeah.
power doesn't have to be loud to be
Yeah.
real. Okay, let's ask the questions
I quite agree with you.
about with that question with that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think it's a good one. In this relationship, who feels more at risk if honesty is spoken? In your relationship that you're thinking of. You don't have to tell me what it is. But who feels more at risk if honesty is spoken?
Well, I think well in a relationship
Yeah.
with
Family or whoever you're
yeah,
thinking of.
well the person who isn't true to
Yep.
herself.
If if uh if I'm the person we're talking about and I am in a power dynamic with somebody and I have trouble, I want to be honest, so be true to myself. I want to be honest about who I am. So I get into conflict with the other person because they have power, like Joshua was talking about with his manager. The manager has power over the workers, so they can ask you to give yourself in the job, because that's how it works for them, for that job, for that company. Um, But the question is, how do you stay honest with yourself to who you are?
Um, by showing my boss that there are limits and well and by showing dedication on the one hand and on the other hand by showing clearly where my limits are.
Can you give an example of a limit?
Yes, for example, once I had to do something that was a little bit dangerous for my health because too repetitive,
Uh-huh.
and I went to well to the doctor of the company, and I say, "Oh, stop! You shouldn't do that." And then my boss had to think about a way to do things in a different way because I didn't want to have injuries because of my job.
Long term, long term.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you made me think of a situation I was in where that happened, which was dangerous at work. I was in Alaska working for a salmon company, and I was boxing salmon frozen,
Mhm.
and my wrist started to hurt.
Yeah, that's the
Do you know what I
problem.
mean? From going like this.
Yeah, yeah, the whole time. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. For all the whole day. For the now, of course, you get paid a lot of money, but you don't want to have an injury.
Mhm.
So they moved me to another spot, another part of the conveyor assembly line. So I wasn't touching cold fish all the time. But that's
Yeah.
just a little story out of my life. Let's continue. What do you imagine might happen if you spoke more directly? I think we know the answer to this. You already do this, Claire. What do you imagine might happen if you spoke more directly?
Then they will know yourself. They will know you better. Well, the other people you are in touch with, they will know you better, and they might accept you more as you are. And if not, then it doesn't matter because you've got to change. Well, you then might have to change something in your life.
And are you willing to take that risk to show your cards? You know that expression, show your cards?
Yeah,
I think you already do this. You show your cards and then there's
yeah,
tension.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I already did this.
Yeah. Um, is the fear based on something that already happened or something you're trying to prevent? The fear of being honest about who you are. Is it based on something that already happened or something you're trying to prevent?
It depends on the situation.
Oh, oh. And the person who you're talking.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be different depending on which relationship you're talking about, whether it's something that already happened or something you're trying to prevent. If it's a newer relationship, then it might be something you're trying to prevent.
Yeah,
If you already have a pattern with somebody, And they already, then expectations come up.
Yeah.
They're used to you fighting for yourself, and they probably have an answer ready.
Yes, probably.
It sounds doesn't
Yeah.
sound too good. Okay, let's continue. Sometimes the pause isn't about fear, it's about self-protection. Your pause. If you pause after you're in a conversation and you want to be honest about who you are instead of losing yourself, but you fear you're going to lose the connection. So is your pause where you pause when you realize I might lose this connection if I'm who I want to be. So we're saying it's not fear, it's self-protection. You're trying to protect who you are. It's not fear. That's what I'm suggesting. Um, and then this one statement, staying true to yourself doesn't always mean speaking right away. I think you already know that, Claire.
Yeah.
Being true to yourself, sometimes you have to remember the four things we talked about: authority, expectations, mood, and reactions. These are four things to consider when you decide, am I going to wait till a different time? And we already said this is not being weak, this is being smart.
Yeah.
How do you know when you're not ready to speak yet? Is
Well,
there, is there a body, something in your body?
yes, maybe I have the feeling I don't have the right words.
Let's ask Joshi while you think of it. Joshi, we're bringing you into the conversation. How do you know when you're not ready to speak? Like, for instance, with the manager, maybe the manager, you're supposed to obey the manager.
Sometimes when we'll be like,
Yeah, go ahead.
I will be like, it is not for me.
It's not for you.
Like, no. Yeah, sometimes it happens because we will be in some other mode and the manager uh, is like asking us, like you now asked me when the Frau has not answered. That's how.
Okay. So,
And
what
yeah,
usually helps? I'm going to stick with you, Joshi, for a minute. What
yeah, please.
usually helps you move from confusion to clarity?
Uh, Sometimes we will confuse because we need to like uh, adapt to the situation or to get to someone's expectations or mood. Hmm. At that time, we will be like confusing ourselves because we are thinking
Yeah,
about themselves.
yeah. You're
Uh,
confused about the expectations.
Yeah,
What do
when
they
we
really
think
want?
about opposite second person, we are the first person. If the we are thinking about the second person,
Mhm.
then we are like confused because we need to think more how they think,
Yeah,
and we need to like uh, come to the conclusions. Sometimes we are like very confident and mm, confusion and
clarity.
clarity. When we think about what going in our mind, we are speaking out loud, and we are clear with our emotions, feelings, thoughts, everything.
What is it more for you in the work? Is it more about the communication or is it more about the authority or both?
Actually, authority does not
It's not the
gets
authority.
us to anything. It is like a better communication gets
It's
to something.
it's like a what?
Getting getting good things done with better communication.
Oh, the communication then.
Yeah, communication with everyone
Okay.
and what they think, how we need to pursue our things. how,
Okay.
what are their expectations, what are their goals,
Okay. Great.
all the things we need to communicate with them and get clarity. Sometimes we expect more and we doesn't follow, and we think we can't get through their expectations maybe, and we just quit out of their line.
Quit their line, but not the company.
Yeah, not the company. Yeah.
No, just the line.
With, yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Um, Let me ask Claire a question. What would speaking from being ready look like for you?
Could you please repeat the question?
Yeah. What would speaking from being ready to
Ah,
talk look like for you? Like you don't have to say it at a different time. You're just ready to be yourself and you can communicate.
well, I think I will feel I'm prepared enough to say the things as I mean them,
So,
by using the right words and by I think I can feel that.
so as a way of coping with this issue, you plan ahead.
I plan ahead.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely. If it's a very tough question,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Okay.
I have to. I
Yeah, yeah.
have to, I think.
Sometimes, like, there are many competitors around us, we need to get through them. Uh, Everyone is taking over their hands to be in the first line.
Uh,
So, at that time, we need to take up the first line, and we need to prove ourselves by speaking out loud, speaking whatever we think possibly, and giving a good inputs to the results and goals caused by all the people together,
so
members of the group.
when you're speaking out loud, are you speaking from yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're not because you said a lot of the time you're obeying. So
Mm,
there also sometimes you're saying where you really speak your mind.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
sometimes it's required because we are like the team should go forward, and there are no speakers possibly coming out, or there are more competition in speaking and we don't have a top voice, maybe like in some parliament or something else we see.
Are the people speaking out, speaking their mind, are they the leaders in the team or are they just the people in the team?
Everyone who speaks, who takes the first line is a leader.
Okay, okay. And what is the
uh,
first line? Tell me.
First line is taking the authority, taking the blame, taking everything.
Okay, okay. It's a role.
When we take the authority, everyone comes and blames us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
That's part of the job.
yeah.
But I think it's difficult if you're in that situation. Let's go.
Uh,
No?
it's not difficult. When we are taking authority, it is definitely possible for the person to take the blame also.
And you're okay with that.
Yeah, always okay.
Okay, let's ask a question. What makes a relationship feel safe enough for honesty? If you have a relationship, is honesty one of your ingredients?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Joshi? What are your ingredients for a relationship?
Ingredients for relationship
Yeah, like a
is
recipe. Like a recipe. What goes into a recipe?
which recipe?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Uh, Black chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate, what do they call it? Or a flambe, where you put it on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that? The flambe?
No, I don't know
What are
that
your
terminology.
ingredients for a relationship? Let's stay on target. Does it include honesty?
Honesty, saying whatever we think and be open, speak negative sometimes
Okay.
so that they take it positive.
So they take what?
So make it so some people they like to make someone's opposite. If
Okay.
we
Okay.
see if we speak something, they speak the other way.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we take like a negative way, they make it positive.
Yeah. And if you had to pick one thing to keep in your relationship, what would that one thing be?
Just caring.
Caring. Okay. What about
Yeah.
you, Claire?
Well, honesty with diplomacy, diplomatic skills, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Because otherwise it could be quite harsh.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. I think for me, the common one is trust or vulnerability, being able to be vulnerable with somebody. I think that's,
Yeah.
I have to ask one more question because I have to come. We've come to the end, which I think has gone very well. I'm really happy. I appreciate you guys coming. Um, let's see if I can. What would help me feel more grounded before sharing?
Doing some yoga, maybe.
That is the word grounded for yoga. I'm not surprised you thought of that. And I do yoga, but doing some yoga or meditation, because all of those things are about presence and being true to yourself. So
Yeah.
that's a perfect answer. Let me see. I'm going to the closing now. Staying true to yourself doesn't require force. It requires permission from yourself. And I want to emphasize that the coffee hours are about exploring the problem, not the solution. Because you might be wondering why we haven't come up with a solution. That's not what we do in the coffee hour. We touch on things like that in the workshop, and we'll have a workshop next week. What's one small way you can honor your voice this week, even silently?
When we listen
Say it again.
carefully.
Say
When
it
we
again.
listen carefully,
Yeah, one reason, one small way you can honor your voice this week. You're who you are, being who you are. How can you express that one way?
without speaking.
Yeah, you could say that even
Mhm.
silently. I said you could say without speaking, being comfortable with yourself without communicating. That's certainly one way to go. Claire, do you have an answer for this?
Well, I usually have a lot of preparation when it comes to very, yes, tough discussions. I could try to be more spontaneous.
I can say from my experience that the more you know who you are, the more spontaneous you can be,
Mm.
I think. But you have to just it's your journey. You have to discover it for yourself. You have to try it. Um, and ask yourself, like I ask myself all the time, how can I grow? That's of course a very healthy thing to say. How can I grow and what can help me grow? And how does something reinforce who I am in a healthy way? Because you don't want, if you could say that and that not be a good thing as well, because if you're harming somebody, of course, reinforcing who you are is not a good thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for being here, you guys. I really appreciate it. Is this a good time? Because I'm having trouble with the time of the coffee hours. Is 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock a good time?
Yeah, it's
Sometimes,
good.
yes. Usually, yes.
Okay. Because
But
I
I sometimes
tried.
of all other projects, but I keep it flexible. It depends
Okay.
on the topics as well. It's
Yes. Okay. Great. I have to go to another Zoom, so I'm going to say goodbye. Just thank you very much, and I hope to see you both at another coffee hour or workshop. Keep an eye for my promotions. Okay, see ya. Bye bye.
bye bye.
Yeah, bye bye.